I cannot believe I'm doing this already again. But I gotta say extra special thanks to Stone and Tim and everybody on the Pearl Jam, media team for that crazy blitz that got us to 11,000. So Stone and Tim and everyone, this is for you. All right, this one's called Evacuation for only Braden Heinen, and I must say, this is a freaking fun song to play, so shame on everybody for not requesting this song. And yeah, here we go. Check it out. The first bit has 3 guitars in it. One guitar is doing the lead line, which you're going to accomplish on the D string 7th fret and the A string 9th fret. Right? Well, guitar also plays this chord. You're going to play E7 with your middle finger. That's a B note, so we're playing a B chord of some kind. And then pointer finger on A6, ring finger on D7, and pinky finger on G7. This guitar only goes and then just kind of lets it ring out. But check out this chord. Right? We've played this chord before. Think of it as this chord. A7, D6, G7, pinky finger on B8. This is the Jimi Hendrix chord. This is E7 because we have a root, a third, so it's a major chord. That's a 7, a dominant 7th, like if you're playing C7, look, there it is, little inside-out triangle there, same exact thing here. And then it's a minor third from your E, like root 5 minor bar chord there. But in this case, since we've already, that's the minor third. In this case, since it's already been declared a major chord, you don't call it E7 minor, or that you don't. You just don't. You call it E7 rather than minor third. It's the sharp 9th. So E7 sharp 9, B7 sharp 9, and then Stone in the I watched a couple of versions, and Stone mostly does this little B7 shape, and then alternating with, this is by the way the most fun you'll ever have, doing not much at all, alternating with a B power chord. So. But I thought I saw a version or two where Stone was doing our B7 sharp 9. And you certainly hear that note in the song too, right? So, I mean, if you're already going through this much trouble, why don't you just throw another note on there and sort of combine guitar also and guitar Stone for funsies. Followed by a G power chord, but add your major third. So 3, 5, 5, and then ring or middle finger on the G string 4th fret, up to A, and then we're into our verse. And while that happens, guitar, lead guitar, goes 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, which represents the lower octave of the major third that we're playing when we play this G almost bar chord, because we don't want those high notes. Just the E, A, D, and G strings. Which brings us into the verse. Chapter 2, the verse. All right, so we've gone G, A, and then we're gonna go a B root here, a bay root, and then a pointer finger 2 frets lower on the A string 5th fret. That's a minor third. So we've got a B minor going now. In as much as you can call 2 notes a B minor, it certainly isn't not a B minor. Anyways, that pointer finger 5th fret is going to become a middle finger 6th fret. That's now a major third. So we've switched from a B minor to a B major. That's neat. And then both on the 7th fret, which is the 4th of B. So followed by an E flat power chord, that's the 6th fret of the A string, and an A power chord, that's the 5th fret of the E string. Back into it. And when you're on that A power chord and you gotta do the loop-de-loop move to get your ring finger and your pointer finger switched which strings they're on, you'll feel really fancy when you do that. Have fun feeling fancy. and into another verse, and whatever comes next is next. This song tells me that Matt Cameron has a lot of ideas. Yeah, so we get into the which is our B note again on the 7th fret of the E string, the D note on the 5th fret of the A string, and then you're gonna slide up from 7 to 8 on the A string, and then kind of fall back down with your pointer finger now to an E note, and then you're gonna chug away on an E power chord, including the open E string. So 7, 9, 9 plus open E string, nice and slow. Power chords from E to D sharp to D. So it's in a weird time signature. So but back into your right? But that whole part is in a weird time signature, so I think rather than, break it down and explain it, if you're watching this, you've heard this song 60 million times and you can get the feel for when exactly it happens. Next part. Yeah, so out of your evacuation, screaming and shouting, then you do your G and A, but instead of going into the next verse, you go into this thing, which is... not witches, that's Halloween, and that's way past, but it is coming up. One might say it's Halloween Eve. Never mind. Okay, so B power chord on the 2nd fret of the A string. Take your pointer finger off, put it back on, and then your pointer finger is now poised very conveniently to play the low E power chord, which is what you need to play next. Open E string, A, and D string 2nd fret. So, and then you're going to play a D major 7, which means open D, G, and G2, B2, and then that B2 becomes a B3. Until there's only one part left. Let's just fell swoop it here. Okay, so you land on that E power chord and you chug away on it before you get to the weird part. The weird part, now Mike and Stone kind of dance back and forth around each other, but they're both basically doing the same thing. And I've watched a couple of different versions where slightly tiny different things happen, but here's a good thing that sort of encompasses all of them. So, G string 5th fret, B string 8th fret, and you want to hear the D string, the G string, and the B string definitely, and if you hear the E string, that's okay too. So, here we go. G5, B8, and the B string is going to go 8, 7, 5. And now I've got both G and B5 there. So. Now, change positions so your ring finger is on G3 and your pointer finger is on B1. And then B1 becomes B3 with your pinky finger. And then B3 becomes B5 and your pointer finger takes over G string duty for just one strum before you play a regular old D. So all of that is... unknown reason they play an F power chord building back up into the last chorus, I suppose, which is here on the 1st fret of the E string, and that's the first time F has popped up in this song, and there it is. So, whole entire weird part. Yeah, so that F comes out of the... And then it does the... that part. Until it's done. Until it fades out. So you have to get quieter and quieter. Or if you want to... you end it on an E. If you're Pearl Jam Live. That's it for Evacuation. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.